Thanks a lot. I'm very happy to be here today with you because I know that I'm not just in a normal setting as a normal seminar or a normal presentation at the conference, but I'm in a very friendly environment with friends, so it's something that I really enjoy and really like. So thanks again for the invitation. I'm very happy to be with you today. And what I'm going to present you today is a working paper that we are work together with Valentina De Marchi, that many of you already know from. She was my supervisor at the University of Padua. Now she joined ESADE Business School, so she's also in Spain, and with Eleonora Di Maria, that she's at the university, still at the University of Padua. We're working together on this paper on sustainability, hybrid organization, and B Corps. I will go through the details later, but as Luis was saying before, I just recently, since 1 month, joined the IESEG School of Management in Paris, in a department that is named Business and Society. So it's a department where people work on sustainability. So I really feel home in this kind of context because I have many colleagues working on such topic. And but before I was at the University of Padua for my PhD and my postdoc. And as Luis was saying, I'm working on at the intersection of 2 topics: environmental sustainability and paradox theory, that is a theory about the complexity. So what I like to study is the complexity of sustainability for organization and for group of organization, like supply chain or value chain. So how single organization or group organization are able to manage the complexity, the tension, the conflict that emerge when you want to be sustainable from an environmental perspective, because it's something very complex. It's not, we don't have just a clear solution, but we need to face many kind of contradiction, conflict, if we want to be really sustainable. And there is no one best solution. And so this is the fil rouge of my research in what I published so far and what I'm working now. Even if the paper of today that I'm presenting today, the work I'm presenting today, is not on paradox, is on the complexity, but I'm not using paradox theory. We are just using the lens of sustainability and business model to read the topic that I'm going to present you. To start, a couple of examples. We have 2 companies, Spanish company. This one is a company producing highwares, and another one that is Danone Iberia. And both of them are similar but different. If you know these 2 companies, both of them are B Corp. B Corporation B Corp is a certification that company can acquire after a process of audit by an external third party. And if you achieve a threshold of points, 80 over 200, based on what you do on social, environmental, sustainability, on transparency, on governance, many issues, you can get the certification. And the certification say that your company is willing to implement a social or environmental mission while doing its business. So this corporation, this company, are companies that want to achieve social and economic goals, social and environmental goals, while running economic operation. So we are not talking about just social enterprise, but even these are normal companies selling products, food product or hardware. to the customer, but doing this, they want to do it in a way that allow them to achieve social and economic, social and environmental goals. However, between these two companies, there is also a difference. Because if we look at the mission that they state they want to achieve through this economic activity, on one side we have Parafina that said we want to go beyond trash. So our mission is to transform waste in a resource to reduce the environmental impact of the product, in this case of the fashion industry, of the glass industry, and transform waste into a resource for a new product. On the other side, we have Danone that say that the main mission of Danone is to engage with customer to create new habits of regarding the use of food and the nutrition. So on one side we have environmental issue, and on the other side we have social issue, of course. But what is different is that on one side Parafina is achieving the environmental mission, selling its own product. So in this case, the environmental mission is very aligned with the core economic operation, because what they do is to transform trash into waste, into resource, and they do it while manufacturing this product. So the environmental mission is very aligned with the core economic operation of the company. On the other side, Danone is selling food products. And they also have a social mission, but the social mission is not aligned with the product that they sell. I mean, they could sell the same product without that mission. Instead, if you eliminate the environmental mission of Parafina, all the business model collapses, because the business model is based on that mission. So this is to show you just an example. We have two B Corps, so same kind of certification, same kind of, they should be similar as a company. Instead, they are different if we consider the business model. Because on one side, we have what the literature call integrated business model. That means that the mission of the company is aligned with the core economic operation, because they achieve the mission through the economic operation. Instead, on the Danone case, we have a differentiated business model, because they achieve the social and environmental mission not selling the product, but using other channels, and maybe using the revenues from that product to achieve the social mission. So here we have two different ways of being what in the literature is called a name hybrid organization. So organization that creates both social and environmental and economic value. I want to go directly to the, wait, okay, now I'm understanding how it works. But why we call this paper the tetris of sustainability? Because in order to be the first one, in order to be Parafina, in order to be a company that has a social and environmental mission that is aligned with the core economic operation, because it's not so easy to achieve that level of integration. I will show you later why it's important to achieve that level of integration. Because it's not so easy, we ask ourselves, how can this company achieve those level of integration and be strictly aligned with what they want to achieve as a mission? And what we discover is that there are many ways to achieve the same result. It's not something that we can achieve just in one possible. There is no one best way. As always in sustainability, you have multiple ways to achieve the same result. to be integrated and to have a social and environmental mission that is aligned with your core economic operation, you can do it in 5 different ways. This is what we found in our paper. And I will detail this way later. But going a step back, what we try to do in this paper is to understand what are the actions that companies can put in place in order to develop integrated business model. Why we believe this can be important and relevant to study? First of all, because if you are an integrated companies, if your mission is aligned with your economic operation, for your stakeholder is clear for how, why, and for whom you are generating social, environmental, and economic value. So your identity is clear for the customer, for all stakeholders. And why this is important? Why is it important that as stakeholder, I know that Parafina is an environmental sustainable company and not just doing greenwashing? Because if I know that the mission of Parafina is clearly aligned with the product that I'm buying, this is going to increase probably the trust of stakeholder and the engagement of stakeholder. And we know from the literature that for hybrid organization, for this kind of organization that try to merge social, environmental, and economic goal, stakeholder engagement is crucial. If you don't have stakeholders that are really engaged with the company, probably at some point you are going to what is called mission drift. So you are going to some way to drift from one of the 2 missions that you want to achieve. You are going probably to achieve the economic mission, but forgetting about the social and environmental one because it's too complex. So you need to engage stakeholder, and so being having an integrated business model can be a way to develop the trust and engagement of stakeholder. And also, finally, we believe that this paper can have important insight for managers that work in this kind of organization to give them insight on how to organize the company and what are the actions to put in place in order to develop this integrated business model. But we are talking about hybrid organization, and before going on the detail of the paper, I want to make clear what hybrid organizations are. Hybrid organizations are those organizations that combine social, environmental, and economic goals, but also logics and also demands from customers, from stakeholders. So at the same time, you are a profit company. You are not a non-profit. You are a profit company that want to achieve social and economic goals while running economic operation. So, and why we have now this model of organizing that is developing and growing in the market? Because to deal with the grand challenge of social environmental grand challenge of today's, we need to modify how we do business. And many organizations are going to become more hybrid, adding and integrating social and environmental goals within their business model. However, it's not so easy. And you can do it in 2 different ways, as I explained before. You can be integrated. So when where your business model is and your economic operation is fully driven by the social environmental mission, like the Parafina case, you are integrated. If instead you can run your economic operation even without a social and environmental mission, this means that you are adopting a differentiated or non-integrated hybrid business model. Because the economic and the social and environmental mission are in some way separated from each other. They can stay by themselves. They are not really and fully integrated. We want to look at the first group, integrated one. Why? Because of some of the reasons that I explained you before, because you can clearly communicate to your customer what are your goals. And so I really know that if I'm buying your product or if I'm supporting you as a company, I'm supporting a company that has a clear mission that I align with, and this is going to increase my trust and my engagement. But being integrated is not something very easy. It's not easy because you are a profit company and you want to add some social and environmental mission to your business. And it's much easier to sell your product, like Danone, selling your yogurt, and then using the revenue of your yogurt to, I don't know, supporting a social mission for nutrition of in some developing countries. It's much easier. You sell your product. You don't change your core business. You sell your yogurts and use the revenues to do something better for the environment and for the society. Instead, if you want to really integrate this mission in your business, there are maybe costs and resources that you need. And this is something that you need to engage with, and maybe not all the company have the expertise or the resource to do it. Even because there is no a clear best way to follow, but you need to experiment, you need to integrate many different activities, and so there are a broad range of activities that can lead you to this outcome. There is no one best way. What we know from the literature is that there are many different activities that you can put in place, many sustainability activities that you can put in place as hybrid organization, and these activities are identified in the sustainable business model literature, in which we have a stream of literature that talk about how company can become more green and more social. And in this literature, what we found is that there is a set of different actions that has been studied that can lead to companies to become more sustainable. So what the sustainable business model literature offer is a taxonomy of possible sustainability activities. So we know from this literature what are the possible activities that a company can implement. And also we know that there is no one best way, but there are many possible combinations of those activities that company can integrate or experiment in order to achieve real sustainability. So even in not just in hybrid organization literature, but in sustainable business model literature, we have this idea that we need to experiment and to integrate multiple sustainability activities, because to achieve social, environmental, and economic goals at the same times, we need to do many things simultaneously. We need to generate and produce multiple kind of value at the same time. And so we need many activities to combine at the same time in order to achieve this outcome. What are these kind of activities? In the sustainable business model literature, we found there is the first categorization of those activities in a paper written by Boken et al. In 2014, where they found 8 different archetypes of sustainability activities that companies can implement to become more green and more sustainable from a social point of view. And they divided these 8 activities in 3 groups, depending on the focus of those activities. The first one are the ones that are more focused on environmental element. And here we have like maximize material and energy efficiency. So you put in place action that lead your companies to reduce the level of energy that you use, for example, or use less material to produce the same amount of goods, just to give you an idea. The second action that you can put in place is create value from waste. So use waste as a raw material for your product. Or third, you can put in place activities and action that aim at using renewable materials and natural process. So for example, substituting fossil fuel-based material with bio-based components. This is another example. These are the first three activities that you can put in place that have an environmental focus. Second group are the ones that have a social focus. And in the first one, delivering functionality rather than ownership, with these activities, what you want to do is to not give to your customer a product, but a service. So you want to substitute the fact that you sell a specific product to your customer with a service, like, for example, the car sharing, the idea. Or you can adopt a stewardship role. What does it mean? This means that through your economic operation, you care about stakeholder and about goals that are related to a specific group of stakeholder. To give you an example, this kind of activity were put in place by Patagonia, that is selling my backpack, to protect an area in Utah, in US, to save a river or a natural reserve that was under the threat of becoming oil area. So they decided to embed these activities within their business with the aim of protecting that specific area. So this is what the author means with stewardship role. And then encourage efficiency. Same example, Patagonia advertising, don't buy this jacket. The idea that you want to, especially your customer, to become more aware that we need to consume less. So you want, for example, you put in place action of repair and reuse. So I can go with my backpack to a Patagonia store if I have some problem, and they can fix my backpack and give me back the backpack. So this is the idea. And the third group are the ones that have an more economic focus. We have two kinds of activities. The first one is repurpose for society and for environment. For example, you have a business that is running since 100 years, and at some point you decide to transform your business in a big corp, for example. So at some point you try to change the model of your business in order to become more socially and environmentally sustainable, not just in a greenwashing way, but in changing the governance, changing the model of your company. And finally, we have developed scale-up solution. In these are activities that are put in place especially by consultancy company. So you don't sell more green product, but you support other companies to become more green or more socially sustainable because you do consultancy activities, but just focus on the environmental and the social responsibility of the other companies. So you support other actors to become more sustainable. So this is one of the possible categorization of the sustainability activities that company can implement to transform their model. Of course, there are other possible categorization. We decided to use this one because it's more systematic and it's better. You can use this categorization in an easy way in our analysis because we have other categorization of action that categorize, for example, in a paper of Ludenke-Freud of 2018, they made a categorization of 45 different sustainability activities. Okay, this is maybe, if you want to use them as a categorization to analyze what companies are doing and try to find some patterns, having 45 different categories maybe is a bit too complex in order to find similarities in the companies. So we decided to use these 8 archetypes to look at our companies. And so what I was saying before, we know that sustainable companies that want to become more integrated need to combine multiple activities. And so we have a constellation of possible kind of combination of those activities to become more integrated. And so this is our research question. How can companies, hybrid organization, how can become more integrated, and what are the configuration that of sustainability activities that lead to this outcome? And so, what we have done in order to respond to this research question? We have decided to look at B Corps in the European context. Why? Because to have a similarity of the social and environmental context, so we decided to look just at the European context, and to look at the country in which we have the greatest number of B Corp, that are UK, Italy, Netherlands, and Spain. And we decided to look at the companies that have more than 10 employees. Why? Because micro companies have less resources, and so probably the information that they are able to report are less and less reliable. This is what the literature is saying has. So we decided to focus on not on micro organization, but on small, medium organization. But why B Corp? B Corp, as I said at the beginning, is a certification. So a company can that want to become more sustainable can go for a B Corp certification. You receive an audit, and if you achieve a threshold, you can have this certification. But what is interesting is that to become a B Corp, you need to clearly state a social and environmental mission that you want to achieve while running your business. So if you go on the B Corp website, you can find all the social and environmental mission of all the companies that are under this certification. Because sometimes it's quite difficult to find what is the social and environmental mission of a company, because they are very general and sometimes even hidden in the website or in the. So in this case, you have a repository of all the mission of this company. So they need to state this, and they need to account for this to achieve the certification. So your mission need to be aligned with your activities at some point. And every 2 years, you are audited by a third party that say, okay, you are achieving the threshold or not. And so this is the reason why we decided to focus on this type of organization that are growing a lot in the European context. We have thousands of B Corps now in all around the world, but a majority of them is in Europe. And is a way to transform, to support the transformation of your business, of your model, from a purely economic model to a more sustainable model. because this certification implies that you change the way in which you do business, while adding an environmental and social mission. So this is the reason why we look at B Corporation. And then how we analyze this? We collect around 400 cases, 400 B Corps. And what we have done is to apply a qualitative comparative analysis that someone in the room knows better than me. That is a way to look at the data in order to understand what are the patterns that lead to a same outcome. The idea behind is that you don't have just one way to achieve the outcome that you want, but there are many possible combinations of conditions that lead you to a specific outcome. This is the idea of equifinality, the idea that you have multiple combinations that lead to the same outcome. And the second important thing of this kind of approach is that you have a combination of factors. So there is not just one factor that explains the outcome, so one reason why you are more sustainable, more integrated in this case, but there are many factors that can jointly combine in order to lead to the outcome. So we thought that was the right approach because we can look at the combination of sustainability activities and at a different combination of sustainability activities that lead to the same outcome. That in our case is the alignment between the social and environmental mission of B Corp with their economic activities, and our condition, the factor that lead to this outcome are the 8 sustainability activities that I showed you before. So these are the reason why we decided to read our data through this lens. And we measure this. What we have done is simple. We have downloaded all the information about this B Corp from the B Corp website, from the company website, and from where they were available, from sustainability report. So we did not have direct information. We did not have an interview with the company. We have just secondary data that come from what the company communicates to the customer, to the stakeholder, from their website or from their sustainability report. Why this? Because if we want to look at the integration of the business model that we know is something that is going to increase the trust and the engagement of stakeholder, usually a stakeholder is not someone that can speak with the company, but probably you read the information that the company want to communicate to you. So this is the reason why we decided to use secondary data to look at what the company is communicating about their social, environmental, and economic mission and operation. And what we have done, we have coded all this material using the 8 archetypes that I showed you before to understand what are the actions that the company is putting in place for sustainability. And we measure the level of integration of the business model, 0 or 1. 0 if the business model is not integrated, so if you are selling yogurt and supporting nutrition activities in Sudan. Or instead 1 if you are integrated, so if you are selling a product that uses waste as resources. So this is the way in which we code all the material, and these are the results. Then I will go in details. 5 different ways to achieve the integration of your business model. 5 different ways in which you can have a business model that align your social and economic, social and environmental mission with your economic operation. We named these 5 activities, 5 possible patterns with labels that describe what the company is doing, in that what the company that are within that group are doing. And we have born circular, stakeholder and planet focus, green product with a purpose, enabling sustainability, and energy keeps. These are the 5 patterns that you can follow if you want to have an integrated business model, if you want to align your social and environmental mission with your core economic operation. First one, Born Circular. What Born Circular do? We have Parafina, the one that I showed you at the beginning, but also another company is a UK company that is named BioBean Limited. They use coffee waste, coffee ground, to produce, to use this kind of waste from coffee to produce other material. And in this case, in the first group, we have 2 kinds of action. The first one is to create value from waste, so use waste as a resource. And this one is repurpose for society and for environment. But why there is a full dot and a full circle and a white one? Because in the first case, you need to implement this action. This action is needed to be in this group. Instead, this one is not needed. So you don't need this to implement this action to be in this group. This is the logic of comparative analysis. The fact that you have conditions that are necessary to be in that group, the black dot, and conditions that that you don't need to be in that group. In this case, the action number 7, the activity is number 7. Where do you not see any dots is something that you can implement or not implement. It's not mandatory, it's not necessary. You can have it or not. What really characterizes the groups are the dots, the black one or the white one. So in the case of the first group, you need to create value from waste, and you have it in both examples, but at the same time, you don't need to repurpose for society and for environment. What does it mean? This means that in this group, you have recently founded companies that was founded with the idea to be circular. Both of them are quite young, like 10 years most. And what they do is to create value from waste. So in this group, you don't find the companies that are there in the market since 50 years, but just companies that are very young, and they were created with the idea to use waste as a resource. And these are the two cases. Second group, stakeholder and planet focus. On the left side, you have a pair of shoes, and on the right side, you have a plastic bottle. What these 2 companies are doing? These companies are implementing activities that simultaneously they want to focus on the planet, so having greener product, but with those products, they want to achieve even social goals, so looking at the needs of stakeholders. In the first case, you have a company that is producing shoes, Vivo Barefoot, coming from waste, so they use waste or recycled material, to produce a kind of shoes that is with the aim of reconnecting the customer with the nature, because these are barefoot shoes with the idea to reconnect and improve the health of the customer with a greener product, so both at the same time. Instead, Dopper is a Dutch company that is producing a plastic bottle, reusable one, so a greener product, with the idea of changing the habits of the customer in order to reduce the use of single-use plastic. So even in this case, you have both. Third possible path. You have this company is called One. And what they do is to, even in this case, create different kind of bottles of water, but with a specific aim. In this case, all the revenues of these companies go to project to water security. So what they do is to sell a product with a specific, a greener product, because all these bottles are made of recycled material, but with the social or environmental goal of financing projects all around the world that look at water security. So you have a more environmental sustainable product that is financing a social goal. We have social project, charities initiative, female work, different kind of example in this group. So, fourth group. This in the last two groups are a bit different, because in the first three you have mainly manufacturing companies, so companies that are selling and producing and selling something. In the last two groups, you have more consultancy company, so they are not producing anything. They are just doing consultancy or supporting other companies in developing their solution. In this case, you have, for example, the example of on the left down that is a company that support brands to become more socially oriented. So if you have a brand, a company that want to become more, connect more the social and environmental goal with the rest of the business, they support you in developing this. So in this case, they have a model that in some way connect the last activity that I show you at the beginning, the number 8, that is supporting solution and developing scale-up solution, but with the aim of supporting more greener project. And finally, we have the last group. These are an Italian group and a UK group. They are both in the energy sector. And what they do is not just to offer green energy that come from renewable resources, but what they do is to connect the customer with this renewable energy project. In what sense? In the sense that, for example, what they try to do is to found people that want to finance green energy products, group all these people to finance specific product, specific project in UK for a renewable energy development. So what they do is to support greener solution, in this case in the field of energy, but at the same time connecting people that want to engage with this project using their finance to support other and third parties project. So they are, even in this case, not consultant companies, but they are supporting companies with respect to renewable energy product or other kind of project, connecting customer or stakeholder with the project. So I want just to come back to the table, and then I'm close to the end. I don't know how much time okay, I will. So these are the paths. So these are the actions that you can combine, that I show you with some example, in order to achieve an integration. What does it mean? In order to align your social and environmental mission with your core economic operation. This is what we found. These are all the examples that I show you. And so what are why we believe that this research can be important? Because we show that being more integrated when you are an hybrid organization is not easy. You need to combine multiple action, multiple activities, but there are some way in which you can do it. Multiple way, but there are some. In this case, we found 5 different partners that can show to manager. What are the ways that they can adopt in order to implement action that align more their social and environmental goals with the economic goals. Of course, in this research we have many limitations regarding the fact that, for example, we just look at one moment in time. So we can detect what companies are saying about what they are doing, but not over time. So we don't have data regarding the fact that the different business model has been implemented in different point in time, and this is a huge limitation of this paper. But the kind of data that we have available are not able to show when the business model has been, the sustainable business model, the sustainability action has been implemented. This is, of course, a limitation of this paper and open to other kind of work. And so this is the end of our research, and we are still working on it. Not finished yet, but this is just to give you an idea of what we have found so far. And any comments or question that you have is, of course, very much appreciated. And if you want to have any kind of other information later or remain in contact with me or the other authors about this research or other research, this is my email address. Thank you so much.